so much. And thank you for tuning in. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be playing music for you for the next little while. And let me just introduce the band real quick. We got Chris Gale on the saxophone, Morgan Childs on the drums, Attila Fias on the piano, on the keyboards, and my name is Ross MacIntyre, and I'll be playing bass for you today. That tune was I Remember You, a great old standard, and we love playing it. So now we're going to introduce our vocalist. Here is the wonderfully talented Whitney Ross Barris.
It's not that you're fairer than a lot of guys just as pleasing, that I doff my hat as a worshiper at your shrine. It's not that you're rarer than asparagus out of season. Oh, my darling, this is the reason why you've got to be mine. You'd be so nice to come home to. You'd be so nice by the fire, while the moon on high sang a lullaby. You'd be so much that I could desire, under stars chilled by the winter, under an August moon burning above. You'd be so nice, you'd be paradise to come home to and love. Nice. Well, that is just delicious. I can't give you anything but love, baby. That's the only thing I've plenty of, baby. Dream a while and scheme a while, and sure you'll find happiness. And I guess all those things you've always till that lucky day. You know darn well, my baby, well, I can't give you anything but love. Can't give you anything but love, baby. That's the only thing I've plenty of, my baby. Dream a while and scheme a while, and sure you'll find happiness and I guess all those things you always find. Oh, gee, it's nice to see you looking swell, baby. Diamond bracelets, Woolworths doesn't sell, my baby. But till that lucky day, you know darn well, baby, I can't give you anything. I ain't got no diamond rings, and I can't give you anything but love. Yeah, thank you. Again, another. Hey-oh. Thank you. Thank you. Apparently, there's many stories that have to do with that has that punchline, but that's the one I like. Okay, so this is I Hear Me. Not that I'm a punchinello, just an optimistic fellow with a lot of very mellow music in my soul. Not that I'm a Pollyanna, shouting out aloud, Hosanna. It's my singing heart I can't control, because I hear music, mighty fine music. The murmur of a morning breeze up there, the rattle of the milkman on the stairwell. Sure, that's music, mighty fine music. The singing of a sparrow in the sky, the perking of the coffee right nearby. Well, oh, there's my favorite melody. That's you, my angel, phoning me. Oh, I hear music, mighty fine music. And anytime I think my world is wrong, I get me out of bed and sing this song. me right nearby. Well, there's my favorite melody. That's you, my angel phoning me. Oh, I hear music, mighty fine music. And anytime I think my world is wrong, I get me out of bed and sing. Out of bed and sing this song. Oh, yes. Oh, this is lovely. So I want to introduce the band again just in case you are just tuning in. This is Chris Gale on the nearly 100-year-old tenor sax over here. And I don't know, you're not close to 100 at all, so we won't have to talk about that. This is Morgan Childs on the drums. And we have Ross MacIntyre on the bass. The bass is called Kevin, just so you know. And this is Attila Fiash, who's just in town, like you just happen to be in town, generally a Victoria resident, but so happy that he's hanging around. Bi-coastal? I guess it's not, we're not really on the coast. But, well, I'm so glad that you're here. It's nice to see you. And because I knew you were coming, I knew I had to do at least like a handful of Latin tunes. So because I don't know how to speak Portuguese and because I wouldn't embarrass myself or any other native Portuguese speakers, I'm going to sing the lyrics of this song in English, which were written by John Hendricks. And this is, in English, called No More Blues, but for you it is... I'm not even going to try it. I'm not even going to embarrass myself. Listen to Attila say it and not me. But I am going to sing it, so. No more blues, I'm going back home. No more dues, I promise no more to roam. Home is where the heart is. The funny part is, my heart's been right there all along. No more tears, and no more sighs, and no more fears. I'll say no more goodbyes if travel beckons me. I vow I'm gonna refuse, I'm gonna settle down, and there'll be no more blues. Oh, every day when I am far away, my heart turns homeward. Forever homeward. I've traveled around the world in search of happiness, but all the happiness I found was in my hometown. No more blues, I'm going back home. No more blues, I'm through with all my wandering. Now I'll settle down and live my life and build a home and be your wife when we settle down. There'll be no more blues, nothing but happiness when we settle down. There'll be no more blues. funny part is my heart's been right on all along. Oh, no more tears and no more sighs and no more fears. I'll say no more goodbyes if trouble beckons me. I'm gonna refuse, I'm gonna settle down. There'll be no more blues. Oh, every day when I am far away, my thoughts turn homeward, forever homeward. I travel round the world in search of happiness, but all the happiness I found was in my hometown. No more blues, I'm going back home. No more blues, I'm through with all my wandering. Now I'll settle down and live my life and build a home and be a wife. When we settle down, there'll be no more blues, nothing but happiness. When we settle down, there'll be no more blues, nothing but happiness. When we settle down, there'll be no more blues. Wow, I am warm. It was a long trip home there. I find I've sung that song for a few years, but it's more relevant now because I actually did move back to my hometown. I live in Uxbridge, which is far away from Oakville. So if there are any expat Uxbridgians out there, hi. And anyway, so I'm quite happy out there. It's nice. It's funny because I left, an artist, teenager. I left initially, was like, yeah, see you later. I'm never coming back here. And then I decided later on as an adult that it actually was quite lovely and I did want to go back. So I kind of tiptoed in like, hey guys. And it's lovely. I want to do one of my favorite tunes. This is a song by Slim Gaillard and Slam Stewart. And Slim and Slam. Apparently, Slam used to play at the Reservoir Lounge in Toronto when it was Café des Copains. And when he did his solos, he would hum into the bass and get this funny kind of reverb. And also, Slim would do shows with Jane Bennett at the Reservoir and Larry, and they have lots of stories about Slim. So, but that's for another time. So let's just get into it. I sound like a YouTuber. Let's get into it. Smash that like button. 1, 2, 3. There's a new killer diller, a brand new Harlem thriller, a new way to ruin the rubs, a new dance for jitterbugs. The flat-foot Fuji with the floor, flat-foot Fuji with the floor, flat-foot Fuji with the floor, a flow-do, a flow-do, a flow-do, a flow-do. The flat-foot Fuji with the flow-dow, flat-foot Fuji with the flow-dow, flat-foot Fuji with the flow-dow, a flow-dow, a flow-dow, a flow-dow, a flow-dow. Oh, when you're feeling low down, you don't know what to do. Oh, if you want a showdown, well, here's the only dance to do. The flat-foot Fuji with the floor, flat-foot Fuji with the floor, flat-foot Fuji with the floor, a flow-do, a flow-do, a flow-do, a flow-do. bam, 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 when you're feeling low down, you don't know what to do. Oh, if you wanna show down, oh, here's the only dance for you to do. It's the flat-foot flutie with floor, floor. Flat-foot flutie with floor, floor. Flat-foot flutie with floor, floor. Flow do, 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 flow do. Woo. Every day it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day it's getting faster. Everyone's go ahead and ask her. Love like yours will surely come my way. Step and strut out, give me the simple life. Well, some find it pleasant, dining on pheasant. Those things roll off my knife. Just give me tomatoes and mashed potatoes. Give me the simple life. A cottage small is all I'm after, not one that's spacious and wide. A house that rings with joy and laughter, and the ones you love inside. Well, some like the high road, I'll take the low road, free from all care and strife. Sounds corny and seedy, but yes, indeedy, give me the simple life. I mess around with strife. I never was cut out to step and strut out. Give me the simple life. But some find it pleasant dining on pheasant. All those things roll off my knife. Just to give me tomatoes and mashed potatoes. Give me the simple life. A cottage small is all I'm after, and not one that's spacious and wide. A house that rings with joy and laughter, and the ones you love inside. Oh, I like the high road, but I'll take the low road, free from all fear and strife. Sounds corny and seedy, but yes, indeedy, give me, oh, give me the simple life. I'm sorry, that was not a simple ending. It snuck up on me. Sometimes that happens. Why don't you guys do an instrumental? You want to do that? Want to dive in there? You ready for that? Okay. I'm going to get some water, powder my nose. was pretty good. Yeah, you guys are okay. So I just want to bring everybody down now. You're much too happy. We're getting used to the happiness, sadness cycle, so we're just going to do that anyway. Bougainvilleas bloom and wind. Be careful, mind the strangle vines. The rose is climbing over the line, 'cause the sun is on the other side. The bees will have their honey. It's the sweetest every time. Around a red rose, I see a red rose. A red rose blooming on another man's vine. Well, Golden Willie's gone to war. He's left his young wife on the shore. Will she be steadfast every day while Golden Willie's far away? Well, along the way, her letters end. She never reads what Willie sends. Around a red rose, I see a red rose. A red rose blooming on another man's vine. Around a red rose, I see a red rose. A red rose blooming on another man's vine. Have I lost my balance, or is the pavement cracked? Am I stepping forward, or am I stepping back? Why does my breath escape me? Why am I feeling blue? Could it be that I'm in love with you? Do I smell gardenia or freshly baking bread. I'd like to scowl at strangers, but I have to smile instead. Does my cheeks, are they always this rosy? Are my cheeks so rosy that... I think I need to start that again, sorry. Let's try that again, because I went... Hang on. There's just a lot of rosy cheeks. Have I lost my balance, or is the pavement cracked? Am I walking forward, or am I stepping back? Why does my breath escape me? Why am I feeling blue? Could it be that I'm in love with you? Do I smell gardenia or freshly baking bread? I'd like to scowl at strangers, but I have to smile instead. Does my heart always beat this quickly? Are my cheeks this rosy too? Or could it be that I'm in love with you? Well, if I had been drinking, well, I'd say that I was drunk. And if I had been sinking, well, I'd think that I was sunk. But I'm as sober as a bishop and as steady as a yacht. But I can't help getting tipsy with these feelings that I've got. Should the day go by so slowly? Should the birds all sing your name? Is this a work of art, or your picture in a frame? It's you that's making me crazy, and I don't know what to do. Could it be that I'm in love with you? And as steady as a rock, but I can't help getting tipsy with these feelings that I've got. Should the day go by so slowly? Shall the birds all sing your name? Is this a work of art, or your picture in a frame? It's you that's making me crazy, and I don't know what to do. Oh, could it be that I'm in love with you? Yes. Oh, could it be that I'm in love with you? Oh, I think I am. Oh, could it be that I'm in love with you? Well done. And I think most of you, 3/4 of you, have never seen that song in your life. That to me is just, that's just miraculous that you can just look at something and make it sound beautiful. It's like, I don't know. To me, it just feels like if someone handed me like a script in Braille and said, play this or read this and then talk about it. Because I can't imagine looking at a piece of music you've never seen and just going, wow, this is wonderful, and I can play all this and do this solo, which is brilliant. Anyway, we're going to do just one more tune before we kind of take a little break. Can you guys skip forward to Only at Night? I want to finish, actually, with a ballad. Because I can. This is a tune I wrote just before the pandemic. I tend to write a lot of really sad songs, but I'm not a sad person, I promise. Maybe I just exercise it all in my music. This is a song I wrote, and it's called Only at Night. Was it the stars that drew me to you? Or was it the dark in between? My shadow to light, behind of my sight, my troublesome delight. I love you, loathe you, miss you, but only at night. Well, I will admit, when twilight appears, I'm lost in its murky blue. I'm sure that I'll be okay. That is just to say that I'm fine most of the time. Still I love you, loathe you, miss you, but only at night. You see, I always go to bed at dawn. I always cry from 9 to 1. I've rolled up the heart on my sleeve so no one can see. But by the start of the day, my only memories of you fade. I'll be alright. You see, it's only at night. If you are blue or lost in the dark, perhaps I could shed some light. I love you, loathe you, miss you, but only at night. But by the start of the day, my only memory it's only at night. If you are blue or lost in the dark, perhaps I could shed some light. You see, I love you, I miss you, but only at night. Thank you so much, fellas. Thanks so much for playing. Thank you. Thank you.